bring you highlights and analysis from today's game. Jaguars Postgame is brought to you by Baptist Health, Farah and Farah, and by Everbank. Now, to get things started, here's JP Shadrick.
Welcome in. It's Jaguars Postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Final score, Raymond James Stadium, Tampa. The Buccaneers 30, the Jaguars 12. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey. No Fred Taylor tonight. We'll get to Bucky Brooks in Tampa coming up shortly. We'll hear from head coach Doug Pederson as well after one of the worst performances of the year for the Jaguars. And I'd put it right there at the top, to be quite honest with you. Certainly in the first half, you could call that the worst half of football all season. And the Jags just kept spiraling down as it went along. 4 giveaways tonight, 21 points allowed off those 4 giveaways. Injuries continue to mount. Trevor Lawrence injured now for the 4th time this season. It's a shoulder issue this time and had to leave the game. And the defense couldn't slow down Mike Evans, Baker Mayfield. The offense couldn't get out of their own way. Mistakes and issues all around for this first-place Jaguars team. They are still in first at 8-7 because of the tiebreakers in the division.
Yeah, look, they're not going to beat anybody if they play this way, including the Carolina Panthers. They will not beat anyone if this is the level of performance that they have the rest of the season, JP. Look, I still want them to make the postseason. I know there's some Jaguar fans that are just in the camp of, hey, if they get there, they're not going to do anything anyway. But to me, just to establish that you could go back-to-back for the first time in a long time, it would be something. But at this point, it's hard to see how they're going to fix this offense. I mean, the myriad of problems across the board. The mental mistakes continue. This is not one of those, though, where I look at it and say, oh, we beat ourselves. I mean, sure, they contributed to it along the way with some mind-bogglingly bad play, but got to give the Bucs credit. They came in playing well. They forced turnovers. You know, it's not their fault the Jags couldn't stop Mike Evans. They kept going to him, and as they should. Mike Evans put up, his 95th, 96th touchdown, or 93rd and 94th touchdowns of his career at this point, most among active players. Really not anything good you can say about this. Look, Evan Ingram and Calvin Ridley put up some stats because there truly weren't anybody else you could go to that you could rely on in the passing game at all. And in the NFL, somebody's going to put up some numbers if you play 60 minutes. But it was as bad an exhibition of football, and I agree with you. At least when you lost to the Niners, you look at the Niners and you're like, this team is just walloping everybody when they're full strength. Not that it made you feel any better about the result at the time, but then they bounced right back and they won a couple of games. This is one that, boy, I mean, who's even going to be available to play for them,
That's
it
the
feels
question.
like, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of questions. That's a big one, certainly. Let's go back to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. Bucky Brooks nearby the Jaguars locker room, and your reports right after halftime, Bucky, kind of told the tale, and it continued into the second half. And where does this Jaguars team find the life with 2 weeks to go?
Yeah, no, it's a crisis moment right now, and so the way they are able to find their way out of it is they're going to have to make a decision, every player, every coach, that they want to turn it around. There's no magic pill. There's no magic wand that you can wave to get out of it. It has to start in practice, and they have to start wanting to do things the right way. And then you start doing that over the course of the practice week, and you take that to the game field, and you try and break the game up into 4 individual quarters, and you want to play clean in each quarter, and then you kind of stack those on top of each other. And it sounds easy to do it like that, but they really have to focus on breaking it down to like the littlest parts and try to stack some wins in those areas, and then eventually you'll turn the thing around. But it's not going to be easy.
Bucky, is it the want to that is lacking? Is it the ability at this point with the injuries catching up to them? I'm not trying to say it's excuses. It just seems like at the moment they're overmatched when they took the field against the Bucs today.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is injured at this time of year. Like that's not necessarily it. Like the turnovers, the self-inflicted things. Like I wrote down, there were 4 turnovers. There was a missed field goal. There were 3 fourth down conversions that the Buccaneers made. 2 they made on their own. 1 was a roughing the passer penalty. All those things contribute to losing. Like, before you can win, you have to learn how to avoid losing. And for a team that won last year, like, they still are making too many mistakes that will keep you from winning. And so those are the things that can be talked about in meetings, that can be discussed on the practice field, but at some point you have to execute it to a high level.
Bucky Brooks joining us from Tampa at Raymond James Stadium after a Jaguars loss 30-12. The Jags now 8-7. They've lost 4 in a row. The Bucs 8-7. They've won 4 in a row. But Bucky, week 12, the Jaguars were the number 1 seed after the win against Houston for about 3 hours. And then the Ravens won, I believe the Dolphins won, and they were back down to 3rd, and they haven't been that close since. They've lost every game since then. So why was it working back then? And when did it change, and why did it change?
Well, look, I don't know if it was ever working well. I don't know if they ever were playing like at their full potential, because even when they were winning, went on that 5-game run, the defense was playing well, but the offense has always been kind of sputtering, and you still were having issues with turnovers. You were able to win games because the defense made timely plays and stops and those things, but it still hasn't been a well-oiled machine with all 3 phases working together. And so what you have to do, one, you got to be honest with where you are right now. And so you're 8-7. It hasn't been great, but guess what? No one cares. So the only thing that you can control is the next game against the Panthers, and you have to pour all that stuff into it. And the hardest thing now is everyone on the outside is going to have an opinion on what you need to do to turn it around. Family members, media members, the noise around the program is going to be loud. And so Doug has to get the team there. They got to bunker down, and they have to believe in one another that they have whatever they need inside to get it turned around. But it starts with their belief in themselves to turn it around.
Plenty more ahead. That's Bucky Brooks in Tampa. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey in Jacksonville in the Hyundai Studios. After a Jaguars loss, 30-12, Bucs over the Jaguars on Christmas Eve. We'll have head coach Doug Pederson coming up shortly, and this is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning today. Get up to $1,750 back and a free Nest thermostat when Florida Home buys back your old inefficient HVAC system. Expert technicians and flexible payment options are great reasons to call Florida Home today. Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
FloridaHomeAC.com.
Everyone circle up. I know it looks rough out there. Sure, we're down 24-6, but we came here to play differently. We need a game changer. Something like Ring Central, the business phone system that's more than a phone. I want you to communicate like you can talk to anyone, anywhere, all from the same app. Now get out there and play like you're using Ring Central.
Ring Central. Simpler communications. As the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Publix is helping fans gear up for game day with the limited-time Jaguars sub. Piled high with hot deli chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, cheddar cheese, coleslaw, and barbecue mayonnaise on a white sub roll. The Jaguars sub is an easy, delicious meal for any fan. Make it an ultimate game day by ordering the Jaguars sub online for in-store pickup. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC continues. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey from Hyundai Studios in Jacksonville. Bucky Brooks joining us from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. PRI Productions, the Southeast full-service event company, has everything you need to bring your next idea to life. Visit PRIProductions.com and learn more. We're standing by for head coach Doug Pederson. He'll visit with the media and then walk down the hallway and catch up with Bucky Brooks. And, Bucky, it's a similar script to what's happened the last number of weeks, certainly, but a lot of the season. But yes, in this 4-game losing skid, And it started early. I mean, just the little mistake, a fumbled handoff, and they get behind the sticks, and they're unable to get anything done after that. On 3rd and 15, it's an interception. And then a minus 12 run on first down for Calvin Ridley a little later, a couple drives later, that pushes them back, and then they miss a 52-yard field goal. I mean, those little things early in a game, they add up, and that causes more mistakes. They just seem to pile on top of each other right now, Buck.
Yeah, so what happens is when you're in the midst of a losing streak, you lose confidence. And so what you're looking for early in games is something to ignite the belief. And so early in games, when you have like a turnover, you have some flubs, you have a missed field goal, well, now the natural tendency is to have the, oh, here we go again mentality. And so because the Jags haven't had a lot of good stuff happen early in these games, they've kind of just been mired in this slump. And the only way you can do it, you got to face reality. You have to understand exactly why you're losing, and you have to address it. You have to do the ball security drills. You have to talk about it. You have to hit it head on, and you can't run from it. And then ultimately, on game day, guys have to make plays. And
all right, let's do
it's his right shoulder. I don't have any further details until he gets evaluated, either tonight or back in Jacksonville.
Is it a thing where he could have stayed in if the game were in doubt or no?
I mean, at the time, it was severe enough that he couldn't continue. That's all I know.
Getting cleared yesterday kind of followed the plan you had kind of hoped for. Was there any residual effects from not practicing pretty much all week?
I mean, you can't pin this all on the quarterback, right? I mean, everybody else practiced, and we didn't, as a team. It wasn't good. The sense of urgency wasn't there. We didn't execute very well on offense. The turnovers keep piling up. The run game, all that kind of stuff, and it just affects. It affects the whole process, and so it's not one guy. It's the coaches, myself, players. We're all in this together.
Is it at a crisis point for you at this point?
I would say, yeah. 4-game skid, crisis. Our goals are still in front of us. Nothing's changed there, but somewhere we've got to, we got to stop this, dam from busting wide open.
Doug, what is it that you wanted to see today to think that you could break through this whole cycle that you didn't?
Well, you want to see a win, right? You want to see the guys come to this game and have that sense of urgency. And I give Tampa a lot of credit. They came ready to play. They're playing for the same things we're playing for, in their division. So it's just got to mean something to everybody. And today I didn't think it meant as much to us as it did to them.
Doug, did you consider at all not starting Trevor today?
I did not. Once Trevor was cleared and he was good, he spent the week in the meetings and all that. I did not hesitate. Again, once he was cleared, he's our starter, and we roll.
I don't know if you can even answer it, but the same self-inflicted mistakes, unforced errors. You must be at a loss to tell us. Same answer.
I know,
right?
it's. I can't go out there and do it. Press can't do it. Mike Caldwell can't. The players at some point have to have enough pride, right, to not turn. I know they're not trying to turn the ball over, but there has to be a sense of urgency to have, the ball security to protect the football, and it's not there right now.
What's the message you're going to bring to them Monday, Tuesday, whatever, as you get ready for Carolina?
Well, the message is still, our goals are still in front of us. Everything's still right there. Obviously the division is kind of wide open. We've kind of opened that door, but we got to focus on one game at a time. And that's what we're going to do.
You just still see
yourselves at the top of the division, even with the slide that you're going through?
I mean, in my brain, in my mind, that's what I hope for, But obviously, we've got a lot of things to fix.
A lot of folks had 3 catches in that first half, and then I don't even know if he got a target in the second half. Was that just him getting lost in the shuffle, or what?
No, we shifted gears a little bit, tried to get Calvin going a little bit more, but I thought Elijah did some good things.
Did you consider benching Trevor when it got to be 30-0? I mean, he did go back out there, led a touchdown drive, and there was a touchdown pass to Calvin.
Not at that time, no. I felt like if we could find the end zone and score, yes, we were in hurry up 2 minutes the rest of the way, but I did not consider it at that time.
I guess I have to ask why. Were you just trying to get him some confidence back, or what? I mean, 30-0.
Well, I think I know, I never want to throw in the towel, and that's nothing against CJ, but I felt like too that Trevor, with our offense and the way we do things, just get him going and get the guys going around him, and so I never considered taking him out at that time.
Back injury?
Yeah, he just a back. He should be fine.
Very good. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
That's, concerning is not the word for it. He's the franchise. Getting beat to heck at this point of the season.
Absolutely. 4th time he has been on the injury list this season, of course. Had the 2 injuries earlier, the knee injury, the ankle injury, concussion last week, and now a shoulder injury out of the game. 4th straight loss to the Jaguars, 21 points allowed off turnovers. And
that's bothering me. We're going to check it out tomorrow, I'm sure. So have more later on in the week. So hopefully nothing major. But, yeah, it's bugging me right now.
What were the Bucs doing defensively that might have just kind of messed with you a little bit out there?
Man, yeah, we did plenty on our own to mess ourselves up. Start there, and then beyond that, the Bucs had a good plan defensively. They gave a lot of different presentations, brought a lot of pressure. Some stuff that I don't think we communicated great. That starts with me, and then just all the way around, we didn't execute. We didn't just do the simple things right. I thought we had too many plays early in the game, first, second down, where we got behind the sticks. We let their pressure and their pass rush, all that things get going because we were so far behind the sticks where we didn't really have much of a choice but to, throw the ball in most plays. So there's a lot of things there. It's not just one thing that went wrong.
Was there the play where you got hurt? Was you slammed to the ground, or do you remember what happened?
Yeah, it was on the 4th down when I scrambled and, reached for the first down. I got hit out of bounds and just landed on it. So, yeah.
You talked about a touchdown drive, right?
Yeah.
How frustrating is it to try to do what you got to do, and you want to have a running game, but it's almost like immediately we've got to go to the passing game to try to get back into a game?
It's frustrating. It's just every aspect of the game today was frustrating. Yeah, that's frustrating. It's frustrating that we had so many mistakes all the way around. It's frustrating that I had a couple turnovers again. At some point we gotta take control of it and go play the way that I know we're capable of playing, and we're not doing that. It's like we're all waiting around, waiting on something to happen for us to get out of this funk, and it's not happening. No one's coming to save us. We gotta go take control and take these games and win them, and put ourselves in position. So yeah, it's I got a lot of thoughts. It's frustrating. It's really embarrassing and frustrating, and you put a lot of work in to do that and to look like you don't even practice. That's what it looks like, which is just gotta call it like you see it sometimes. It's bad all the way around. So we got to find ways to get better. We got to get out of our own way. It just feels like everything's so difficult right now. Just do the simple things, make the simple plays. Just get back to doing what we've done this season at points and when we were playing well. And we know we have what it takes, but we haven't the last month. So at the most important times, we got to play better, and we're not. So
Is that a crisis point, you think, this season? Ask Doug.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to answer that really. I mean, yeah, we still, we got 2 games left, and we still control what we get in the postseason, and we got to take care of business these next 2 weeks. I mean, it's really bad though that we've put this on the field the last 3-4 weeks. It's a problem, and you want to be playing your best football at the end of the season, going into the postseason hopefully, and we're playing our worst. So we need to find answers. We got to find answers quick. We got 2 weeks to figure it out. So I mean, I don't say crisis, whatever you want. At the end of the day, we got to figure it out. And like I said, nobody's coming to save us. We got to go do it. And we got 2 games left, and we'll see what we earn from there. So.
The most frustrating part of it, I know it's going to be frustrating both ways, but the fact that you can't figure a way out of it, you can't get out of it. I mean, not the unforced errors and all that other stuff, but you just can't figure a way to get out of it.
Yeah. I mean, that is the frustrating part. Like I said, it just looks like we don't even practice. The stuff that we're doing, we look lost. No sense of urgency. God, I mean, the list goes on. And I feel like we have good weeks of preparation, and I feel like we're prepared going into games, and then something happens on game day the last month where it just all falls apart. So, we got to figure that out. We're all in it together. We got to. This is our season. We've worked hard to be in this position, and we're close to pissing it away. So we gotta figure it out. We got 2 weeks left, like I said, and I mean, we got to flush it and move on to the next one, because there wasn't much good to take from today, but we got to get better.
When you got hurt, when you sensed that you had hurt your shoulder, but you stayed in there, did you just? What was there even a thought for a second that, hey, maybe I should not stay in there, or is it just one of those things where, hey, you tough it out? It wasn't anything that you thought would force you to go to the bench.
Yeah, I mean, when I landed, I knew something was off. And then the next play, throw it kind of hurts to throw, and I just wanted to finish the drive out, and we were able to get some points, and then on the 2-point, and just could tell by the way I threw it, I couldn't really get my shoulder up good enough to really keep playing. So I would have loved to have stayed in, but just kind of hurting everybody at that point if I do. So they kind of made the call, and I was with it just to take a seat the rest of the night, and can't really throw, not going to help us. We're kind of having to throw the ball every play, and CJ came in and did a nice job, and just Thank you all.
Merry Christmas.
For any season, and let Ford make the holidays bright, bringing everyone together. Visit your local Ford dealer today during the Make the Holidays Bright sales event.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in New Orleans and Pittsburgh. Watch them win in Houston and Nashville. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information.
Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading organizations across the country to deliver workforce solutions. As a proud sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars, CSI crafts personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has over 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your Workforce Solutions Reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com.
Brooks Rehabilitation has more than 50 years of experience serving the North Florida community with cutting-edge rehabilitation care, ranging from joint replacements, sports injuries, and balance issues to traumatic brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, and strokes. Their highly trained clinical teams span across their system of care to include inpatient, outpatient, skilled nursing, assisted living and memory care, home health, and adaptive community programs. Learn more at brooksrehab.org. Brooks is proud to be the rehabilitation provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Restaurant Orsay is a bustling French-American bistro focusing on classic French techniques with their chefs incorporating a traditional Southern influence. Celebrate life's special moments, or just relax and enjoy their daily happy hour, weekend brunch, and nightcap on Friday and Saturdays from 10 until midnight. Restaurant Orsay, located in historic Avondale, 3630 Park Street. Visit www.restaurantorsay.com.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC continues. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey from the Hyundai Studios in Jacksonville after a Jags loss in Tampa. 30-12 the final. Jags now 8-7. They've lost 4 straight games, but still lead the AFC South. Both other teams tied with them entering the day, lost as well, so 2 games to go, and the Jaguars still in first place. Time now for the Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game, and I got to tell you, Mike, slim pickings, let's say, in today's game on the defensive side. There were a couple sacks.
There were.
Which was nice. Trayvon Walker had a late sack.
Yeah.
In garbage time. I mean, this is Roy Robertson-Harris had one early.
It felt like it mattered a little bit.
They nearly had a takeaway, but it was overturned.
A near takeaway.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bad day.
We've had some bad. This was a terrible day. I mean, they've had bad days each of the last 3 weeks. This is beyond bad, JP. This is embarrassingly bad. Look, Trevor Lawrence is up in the postgame. Trevor Lawrence is as cool and circumspect as a guy can be, you know, and you know, we hear people call my show and they go, "Hey, Trevor needs to, you know, chew somebody's tail." And we've seen him in the game get a little bit more demonstrative, but when he gets up the postgame, for him to say, "We're pissing it away." The season that we had, we were 8-3.
He said it twice. It looks like we don't even practice.
Right. Well, in his case, this week
he didn't.
It's pretty accurate.
Right.
But I mean, this has been an issue more than just today in that regard. Today was a culmination of everything coming together. I mean, and injuries started to mount. And that's not as an excuse. I mean, everyone has them, but you're losing guys. You're losing key guys. You can't run the ball. You know, your passing game is funneled through 2 players, and yeah, they got theirs, but teams will take that, you know, because you're not hitting the big one over the top. You're not getting the quick strike, and the defense had 0 answers for this Tampa Bay Bucs team. And granted, they came in hot, but I mean, you know, look, they're going to play a Panther team that came back and tied the game and put up 30 on Green Bay, and then ultimately lost in the waning moments, but the Panthers are going to come in here with the idea that they're going to get their 3rd win of the season. You think this was bad, and it was. Lose at home to Carolina next week, and the way they played today, they wouldn't be within 14 points of the Panthers.
No.
Honestly.
Yeah, if you don't get pressure on Bryce Young, he'll turn into the college Bryce Young again.
He can sit back there and still make throws. You got to get some kind of pressure. I mean, it's
DJ Chark revenge game.
DJ Chark had a monster game today, by the way. Had a couple of touchdowns. Had a massive game. So, yeah, he's going to be looking to get his.
The other concerning part was when Bucky Brooks asked Doug Pederson about steps to fix this, moving ahead, and it seemed like Pederson was just at a loss of what else can we say? What else can we do? He said simplify the game plan, work on fundamentals, and at a loss.
I wrote that down. Fundamentals.
Yes.
This is week 16 we just completed.
It is.
There are 2 more games to go. I mean, come on, you played 15 games. We're talking about working on fundamentals. And this has been a theme, not the word fundamentals, but the practice. You practice poorly, you play poorly. And Doug Pederson has beat on this. Trevor Lawrence obviously felt the same way, you know, that it looked like we didn't even practice this week. I think Doug has voiced what the answer is. Everyone's got to take a little bit more personal responsibility. They've got to practice better. They have to play better. They have to find it within themselves. I just don't know at this point, JP, if I believe that they've got much of a chance to do that, honestly. I mean, look, they're a more talented team than Carolina. That's the bottom line. But momentum's a funny thing in the National Football League, you know, and Carolina won last week. They came back and played well today, you know, in their loss. So, again, they're going to come in here and try to make what's been a miserable season at Everbank Stadium even that much worse. I mean, the Jags have been terrible at home. All that being said, I mean, they still have the chance to get in the playoffs, but they got to play like they want to make the playoffs at this point, because today, that team that showed up looked like they're getting ready for an early Christmas dinners. I don't know what it was. And you know, you hate to say they don't want it, but there's certainly nothing in their performance that looked like they were emotionally up to the challenge today. Let's put it that way.
No, it didn't look like a team in first place with a chance to extend it to a one-game lead and tiebreakers with 2 to go. And it looked like a team that's counting 1-2 Cancun.
It was honestly all laid out for you today.
Yep.
Colts and Texans both lose. You win this game, you basically have locked up the division. Practically, right? I mean, because then you just need to win one of your last 2, or even if you lose them, you can get a little bit of help and maybe still win the AFC South. And I would think these guys all want to make the postseason.
Well, yeah, I mean, paychecks, right? You get playoff bonuses,
least,
something.
Right? But they're not playing that way.
They're not at all. Let the pros tackle the pest in your home by going to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com. The final stats, because we must, when we come back. It's Jaguars postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Something happens when you begin to believe. What seems way off in the distance gets closer.
You focus on what needs to get done, and you'll let nothing get in your way.
Next year becomes this year, and maybe next time becomes now.
A whole city will rally behind you and begin to believe too.
Because when you believe, the unbelievable can happen. We believe in justice for everyone, and we believe we're the attorneys to help people get it. Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars, Jacksonville.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at jaguars.com/shadows. One winner a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase to enter or win, must be 18 or older and a legal resident of Florida or Georgia. Promotion period 9/5/23 through 12/15/23. For official rules and complete details, visit jaguars.com/shadows. Sponsored by Jacksonville Jaguars, LLC.
Facing cancer takes a lot of determination, strength, and support. And you'll get it all at Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center. Determination from world-renowned doctors, giving you specialized treatment with cutting-edge technology and research. Strength and support from a dedicated team, caring for you completely, during and after treatment. Don't face cancer with anything less than the team at Baptist MD Anderson. Appointments available at baptistmdanderson.com.
Jaguars fans, huddle up. Do you own a vehicle made in the last 10 years? If your car is outside of factory warranty or with no warranty coverage, get the best defense against expensive auto repairs with CarShield, the official auto protection partner of the Jaguars. With plans to fit every budget, CarShield helps you cover up to 5,000 parts and systems. Call 800-471-1223 now or go to carshield.com/Jaguars. That's 800-471-1223 or go to carshield.com/Jaguars. Go Jags!
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey from the Hyundai Studios after a Jaguars loss 30-12. The final, the Buccaneers over the Jags. Both teams 8-7. The Jags have dropped 4 in a row. Let's take a look at the Everbank final stats and start off with the total yardage. And a lot of this skewed towards the end when the Jaguars had some garbage time and got some yards late. But Tampa Bay led the way 335 to 305 for the day. The Jags actually finished with more first downs than the Bucs, 23-22. Third downs, Tampa 10 of 19 on third today. The Jags 3 of 9. Rushing yardage, 70 yards for Tampa on the ground, 37 on the ground for the Jaguars. There was a moment there where the Jaguars had no rushing yards, into the third quarter, right? And then Trevor Lawrence started running a little bit.
They had 0, right? Because Etienne had 12 and Ridley lost 12. I think that was at halftime.
That's right. And then, so we were looking, hey, just in case, what's the franchise low? And the franchise low for rushing yards in a game was 12. So they surpassed that by not much today. They got it done, though. Penalties, 6 for 44 against Tampa, 2 for 20 against the Jaguars. The big one today, turnovers, 4 giveaways, and then 21 points off those turnovers for the Buccaneers. There you go. You're not going to win many games.
Non-quarterback rushing yards today? 2.
Yikes.
That's what they had today.
Not good, Coach.
It's not going to get better when I go through the individual stats, but we'll do it anyway. 283 and a pair of touchdowns for Baker Mayfield. Perfect quarterback rating last week, 116.7 this week, so yay. And on the other side, Trevor Lawrence was 17 of 29, 211, one touchdown, pair of picks, was sacked 3 times, quarterback rating or passer rating of 64. C.J. Beathard off the bench had a 111.5 through the touchdown to Ridley, 11 of 15 for 94 yards. Rushing, Rachaad White, we told you in the pregame, they don't do it on the ground with Rachaad White, although he did run for a touchdown, 20 carries for 39 yards. Jags run defense answered the bell, 10 for 25 for Chase Edmonds, so 30 carries, and that not much getting done there, but they kill you through the air. On the ground, we just went through it for the Jags. Nothing to speak of. 29 yards for Trevor Lawrence. He's the leading rusher easily for Jacksonville. Mike Evans continued his Hall of Fame career with 7 for 86 and a pair of scores. Chris Godwin, 6 for 79. For the Jags, Evan Ingram had 15 targets thrown his way, 10 for 95. He did lose a fumble. However, Calvin Ridley, 6 for 90 on 9 targets with a pair of touchdowns there. And defensively for the Jags, Foye Oluokun leads the way, as he typically does, with 12 total tackles. Trayvon Walker and Roy Robertson-Harris with the sacks for Jacksonville.
Up next, the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting after a Jags loss 30-12 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning today. Get up to $1,750 back and a free Nest thermostat when Florida Home buys back your old inefficient HVAC system. Expert technicians and flexible payment options are great reasons to call Florida Home today. Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
FloridaHomeAC.com. Hear that? That's the sound of the 2023 Chevy Silverado's 2.7-liter high-output turbo engine, delivering 430 pounds per foot of torque with no compromised durability. Impressive power, whether you're helping friends move or just moving some friends.
Thanks!
This is the sound of a family with plenty of rear seat room to enjoy the ride. And most importantly, this is the sound of you heading to your local Chevy dealer today for a test drive. Find your Silverado and find new roads. Chevrolet.
Who will your child grow up to be? Well, that depends on all of us. That's why, along with our groundbreaking medical care, Nemours Children's Health supports programs that address issues like food insecurity and the resources essential to learning. It's all part of creating a healthier future for all children, so they can grow up to be whoever they want to be. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine.
Tackle your marketing needs with Kessler Creative. Providing direct mail services for more than a decade, Kessler has a wide range of services from small mailers to large banners and signs. Draft Kessler as your first pick to receive the best targeted mail list. Elevate your business and be on the winning team with Kessler Creative. Kessler Creative, results-driven marketing and proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today. Official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey from the Hyundai Studios in Jacksonville. And time now for the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. I get a vote. Mike gets a vote. Tony Smith steps in for the vote and a half to break any deadlocks tonight. Mike, go. The floor is yours.
Sure. Calvin Ridley, right? Scored both touchdowns and, caught 6 out of 9 targets today. Didn't turn it over, which was good because we had a lot of those. So, 6 for 90 with a pair of scores. I think it's easy Calvin Ridley for me.
Tony Smith.
My vote would go for Evan Ingram without the fumble, given everything Calvin Ridley got was in when the game was meaningless, right? But he still had the 2 touchdowns. Ingram still had the fumble when everything was said and done, so Calvin Ridley.
All right, and we'll just go ahead and make it unanimous. Why not? Calvin Ridley, 9 targets, 6 catches, 90 yards, 2 touchdown receptions. But as you said, Tony, those in the second half when the game was far out of reach and the Jags unable to convert either of the 2-point conversion tries today. But Evan Ingram, 15 targets, 10 catches, 95 yards, and pretty close to back on pace for possibly reaching the single-season reception record for a tight end in NFL history. It's 116. So he'll need some big games in the last 2 weeks to get that done. But Calvin Ridley gets the nod today for the network player of the game. If you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, look no further than Ford F-150, loaded with impressive capabilities and designed to dominate work, play, and everything in between. This truck makes tough look easy. Your local Ford dealer, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Baptist Health Injury Report in a moment. It's Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning today. Get up to $1,750 back and a free Nest thermostat when Florida Home buys back your old inefficient HVAC system. Expert technicians and flexible payment options are great reasons to call Florida Home today. Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
FloridaHomeAC.com.
If you're facing cancer, you want a dedicated team working for you. At Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center, we only focus on cancer. And we partner with one of the largest cancer centers in the world. So you'll have a specialized treatment plan created by our experienced and highly trained oncologists and surgeons, collaborating with one of the country's leading cancer centers. Best of all, we're in North Florida with locations in downtown, Baptist South, and Clay. Appointments at BaptistMDAnderson.com.
Calling all Jags fans. Is your little one ready to become a junior Jaguar? Now through January 2nd, MyGate rewards loyalty members who buy 2 20-ounce Coca-Cola participating products will be entered to win one of 10 behind-the-scenes experiences at Everbank Stadium for your child. Plus, you'll earn a 10-cent rollback at the pump, a win every time. Fuel your child's dreams, your car, and your passion for the Jags with Gate, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic looking for a parking space? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Field is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 5 locations around Jacksonville. Passes start at $10 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit JTAFLA.com for full details. The JTA Game Day Express, where you're winning before the game even starts. Your Game Day Express is sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens.
The game may be over, but the excitement is just beginning. The Jaguars played a great game, and J-Tech is proud to be part of a community that supports our team. But before we go, let's take a moment to talk about an important part of our community, tradesmen and women. J-Tech believes that everyone deserves the opportunity to learn valuable skills and build a successful career. They're proud to support the Jaguars and our community by offering high-quality trades education. Learn more at jtech.org.
As the official ticket marketplace of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game. Whether you're cheering on the Jaguars at home or away, Ticketmaster has you covered. With Ticketmaster's interactive seat map, you'll get a 360-degree preview of your seat so you can make sure you've got the best view of those pivotal plays. Plus, the Ticketmaster app makes it easy to sell or transfer tickets if your plans change. And mobile tickets make getting in on game day a breeze. Find tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars. That's Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey from the Hyundai Studios in Jacksonville after Jags lost to the Buccaneers 30-12, the final score. And imagine after week 12, the Jaguars were the number 1 seed after the win against Houston for 3 hours. And since then, they've lost 4 in a row. They've got injury concerns. They're still in first place, but the record is now 8-7. And the injury report is presented by Baptist Health and the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute, the official sports medicine provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Long list again today, most notably Trevor Lawrence in the third quarter when diving near the sideline, into the sideline, right shoulder into the ground. And Doug Pederson said after the game he'll be evaluated tomorrow, and an update then. That was late in the third quarter and would be the fourth injury of the season for Trevor Lawrence. Daniel Thomas left the game. Jag safety, more of a special teams ace, and with a forearm injury. That was in the fourth quarter. Anton Harrison, late third quarter with a back injury, walked off the field under his own power, but Cole Van Lanen finished the game at right tackle. That's not a good sign either, and we know what's happened at left tackle. It's a possibility Cam Robinson could be back. His window could open next week to be back at left tackle for this team. So the injury report already long going in with Christian Kirk and now Zay Jones, and they already had two starting secondary players that were on the list coming into the week, but they didn't finish the game either, and Tyson Campbell and Andre Sisco, and I think that was more of a precaution, it sounded like, more than anything, but they weren't out there in the last part of the game. So that's a long list.
And when they were out there, at least in the case of Tyson Campbell, he couldn't handle Mike Evans today. So, they don't have a Mike Evans on Carolina next week, but Adam Thielen has had a good season. DJ Chark coming off a massive game. You don't think he'll be fired up to return to Jacksonville. So, yeah, JP, I mean, it's just that on top of the guys who are healthy are just not playing well. So, I mean, it's a obviously terrible recipe. Merry Christmas, everyone. Look, again, I'm not saying this absolves how they played today, but it is a fact that they're still able to win out and win the AFC South.
Yes.
And maybe not even have to win out and win the AFC South.
If everybody else loses and they lose, they win.
And obviously, with the Colts and the Texans playing each other, one of them is going to get a win in Week 18, but there's a path to, depending on what they do next week,
that's right,
that you could still be in pretty good shape. But, I mean, it's hard to imagine this Jaguar team beating anyone right now unless they have a dramatic turnaround in the way that they're performing.
The long list of issues, injury certainly one of those for the Jags, now 8-7. And they've lost 4 consecutive games. We're back with a preview of next week in a moment. It's Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every single play. And you'll find the same when you bank with Everbank. You've worked hard for your money. So if you're ready to up your financial game, it's time to choose Everbank. Everbank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Earn your advantage at everbank.com/Jaguars.
For us, treating cancer is personal. We're Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center, and we know that every patient is unique. So you'll have a plan created by world-renowned doctors and tailored to your needs. And everyone here will support you every step of the way, so you're physically, emotionally, and spiritually strong for the journey. Don't face cancer with anything less than the team at Baptist MD Anderson. Locations in downtown, Baptist South, and Clay. Visit BaptistMDAnderson.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of the 2023 Chevy Silverado's 2.7-liter high-output turbo engine, delivering 430 pounds per foot of torque with no compromised durability. Impressive power, whether you're helping friends move or just moving some friends.
Thanks!
This is the sound of a family with plenty of rear seat room to enjoy the ride. And most importantly, this is the sound of you heading to your local Chevy dealer today for a test drive. Find your Silverado and find new roads. Chevrolet.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today. Official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and 4 in a row now. And the Jaguars at 8-7 and still in first in the AFC South. It's getting tight, though. Of course, the Jaguars have the Carolina Panthers in Jacksonville next week. And then they go to Nashville to face the Titans in the final week of the season. There's no room for error, but there's plenty of error going on and plenty of injury to go around and plenty of tension. And it's been building for weeks, but today might have been the worst performance of the entire season.
I think it was, because I don't think Tampa's as good as San Francisco is, and that was a pretty bad beatdown as well. But look, at this point, it doesn't matter. First order business is find out who's even going to be available to play next week.
That's right.
I mean, you don't know if your quarterback's not going to be available. I'll say this about Trevor Lawrence, wasn't great today, but no, you can't question his guts and his heart. I mean, he's out there, diving for first downs in what's basically a meaningless portion of the game. The game's over, and he's doing everything he can. Coming back from a concussion, multiple injuries, never missed a game, all this stuff. But the bottom line is, didn't play well enough to get the Jags, going offensively today. And if I don't know who's going to be available next week. Not only, Anton Harrison going to be there. We don't know. Zay Jones going to miss another game. I mean, is it going to be the funnel to two players on offense doing anything? You're not going to all of a sudden figure out how to run the ball, are you? I mean, Carolina's been a terrible run defense all year. I feel like they've got to be better at stopping it right now. The Jags aren't running the ball. I don't think anything's comparable to how bad the Jags are running the football right now. So, and that's just on the offensive side, man. It's a mess. It is an absolute mess. So all they can do is come home, celebrate Christmas, put it behind them, and see who can answer the bell physically this week. And that's where it's got to start.
You know who will be here next week?
You and I.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's where I was going. We'll be here next week, and it'll be a 10 a.m. Publix tailgate show on 1010XL, our flagship station here in Jacksonville. And then 12 o'clock here on the network with countdown to kickoff ahead of the Panthers and the Jaguars. And week 17, the final home game in the regular season, and a lot going on with the Jags. So have a great week. Merry Christmas to you and the family. And Tony Smith, Linda Fortunato, our entire crew, Merry Christmas to you guys, and Merry Christmas to everyone listening. And we appreciate you. We certainly do. All season long here on the Jaguars Radio Network. For those on our flagship station, 1010XL, the Scoreboard Show is next after a Jaguars loss 30-12. The Bucs over the Jags, who've now dropped 4 in a row to fall to a record of 8-7. That's the final score in Week 16 on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Welcome to the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. This is your chance, Jaguars fans, to sound off about today's game. Now, waiting to hear from you, here are Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and JP Shadrick.
Welcome in from Hyundai Studios in Jacksonville. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, no Bucky Brooks this week. 355-NFL-1, the number, 355-6351 after a Jaguars loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 30-12 the final. Tampa now 8-7. They've won 4 straight. The Jaguars 8-7. They've lost 4 straight. And today, Mike Dempsey might have been the worst performance of them all.
It was bad. I mean, really nothing to highlight. Evan Ingram and Calvin Ridley are very busy, but out of necessity. I know Tony made the comment Evan Ingram got most of his work done when it still mattered. I don't know how long it did matter today. I mean, it quickly got out of hand for this football team. And
escalated quickly.
He had a turnover of his own. You just can't have that. I mean, like last week was terrible because you had Trevor Lawrence dropping the ball when nobody touches it. But today, I mean, it doesn't really matter. You can't turn it over. Like, they're coming for you. You got to protect the football, and all the pounding on the turf after you lose it is not going to do you any good. So, look, Evan Ingram's having a terrific season. Calvin Ridley was our player of the game, scored a couple of touchdowns today. But, JP, if Anton Harrison's not there, we don't know. right? But what if it's Beathard playing behind a line featuring Cole Van Lanen, you know? And I mean, what kind of protection is he going to get? He's not going to get any help from the running game based on what we've seen recently. I don't know what they're going to do to put together an offensive game plan next week.
And we heard Doug Pederson and his comments with Bucky Brooks almost really at a loss for words when he was asked about the steps moving forward. It's, what else can you say? Simplify the game plan, work on fundamentals. That's where they are right now. It was almost like a verbal kind of scratching of the head for Doug Pederson at this point.
Because I think he probably knows, like, it's the same stuff over and over and over again. And I think he's identified. We're practicing poorly. The fundamentals have been terrible. We're not protecting the football. It's not like he's not trying to beat this into his team's head every week. I got to believe this is exactly what he's been harping on for the last month.
He's said it every week.
Over and over, right?
On every show we do. The Doug Pederson show, the pregame interview, the postgame interview, every press conference he does throughout the week. He can only do so much. He can't run out there between the white lines and play.
Not disagreeing.
So that's where they are. He's at. There's a certain point to where he just what else can you say? I don't know.
You can throw your hands up and go, I don't have an answer. I mean, that's where he's at. He knows what the answers are, but they're not providing that. So, I mean, what do? Go tell him the same thing over and over? I mean, that's your job, and he's going to do that.
Yeah,
and I'm sure he's going to try to, but how do you keep practicing this poorly? How do you let this opportunity? You're 8-3. It's not like, I mean, and today you go into this game at kickoff. It's like, man, hey, the word filters in. I'm sure they were all aware that the Texans and Colts lost today when that game kicked off, and maybe a few weren't, but most of them were, and you've got a great opportunity, and you got to play like that. And the Bucs did what they wanted offensively. They just went up and down the field.
Right away, too. I mean, opening drives, 14 plays and 69 yards, a field goal, and they were 3 of 4 on third down on that drive. And then the Jaguars come back. They get a bad handoff to get behind the sticks, 3rd and 15. Trevor has to force one. It's intercepted, and then they go 11 plays off that interception, the Bucs do, and get a touchdown. And it's 10-0 at the blink of an eye.
They're 11 of 21 on 3rd and 4th combined today.
Not
Just
good.
Way too many conversions for them, whether it's Baker Mayfield running it in the red zone or, early on they had like the first 3 third downs defensively. Jags just allowed them to convert it, and I'm sure they're not trying to let them convert it, but it just seemed way too easy for the Bucs today.
Phone lines are open, 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. We'll have an abbreviated version on this Christmas Eve. We'll be here until 8:30 tonight after a Jaguars loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 30-12 the final. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Is your phone plan messing with your savings plan? Don't get stuck paying for things you don't want. With Verizon, you only pay for what you need. And for a limited time, when you bring your own phones to a Verizon store, you'll get an amazing price on your plan. Plus, you'll save on things you actually love, like the Netflix and Max with Ads bundle. And it's on our award-winning 5G network. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today for an incredible deal. A better plan to save is Verizon. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Daily's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daily's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daily's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too, former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Brooks Rehabilitation is hiring nurses who want to be empowered as advocates, educators, care coordinators, and leaders in exceptional patient care. They have open RN, LPN, HHA, and CNA positions across their inpatient, skilled nursing, and home health care settings. Join their nationally recognized team, where you'll serve as a central team member doing what you do best, providing exceptional patient care. Apply at careers.brooksrehab.org.
Hey Florida, this is Luke Fortner, center for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We all know the rush of a good game, but there's no winning with aggressive driving on our roads. It's all about strategy and control. Embrace the space with the driver in front of you, go the speed limit, and use that blinker. These are the moves that make us all champions of the road. Target Zero is our game plan for safer roads and is a testament to our teamwork and dedication. Join me and let's get everyone home safely every single day.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back to Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey from the Hyundai Studios in Jacksonville. 355-NFL-1, the number 355-6351 after the Jags lost to the Buccaneers 30-12. Plenty to discuss, Mike.
Okay, let's begin at 355-NFL-1. Don on the north side going to get first in on the Scoreboard Show. What's up, Don?
Hey, fellas, how we doing? Y'all know I call every week about it. I would normally ask or, to see how we doing and everything. But obviously, we all know it's just disappointing. I've been saying for the past couple of weeks, and, as far as the Facebook community with some of our Jaguar fans, it's been a little fuss. But I'm over the Trevor being tough thing and all that. I just think that C.J. Beathard has been serviceable enough, and if it was enough to, get us a win, I don't think he could have possibly done worse. In my opinion, I know, it's also offensive line and everything, but, he the one that supposed to get his contract and the big bucks and everything else like that. Some of the blame has to go on him. Again, this is another 3-turnover game for Trevor, not to mention last year. And I feel like some people kind of forget that he actually, in this entire career, he's been turnover prone and everything there. We blamed it on, Urban Meyer and everything before and everything. But eventually, at some point, he's got to get the credit that's due for it. I just think that we would have had a better game. You could see the difference in the receivers. I understand it was crunch time, but you could see this in the difference when he threw the touchdown pass to Ridley, and Ridley got lit up versus C.J. Beathard throwing it to the corner, and, it was like smooth. I just think it's just a mechanic thing, and he has a lot to improve on that. I do understand that the defense gave up 30, but the defense can't be on the field for 35, 40 minutes a game when we having these 3 and outs of 4 or 5 plays. So I just take my comments off of that. But, it's still go Jags, but it definitely needs to be a little bit of turnaround going on. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it. Merry Christmas, and thanks for the phone calls. Yeah, Lawrence entered the game leading the NFL with 66 giveaways since entering the league in 2021. And 31 fumbles lost since then, 6 more than any other player. So today, 2 interceptions and a lost fumble.
Look, it's unacceptable, but if anyone out there thinks they're going to, quote, get a look at C.J. Beathard at the expense of Trevor Lawrence, it's not happening.
Only when he's injured.
Right, unless he can't answer the bell physically. And by the way, the defense was well rested when the game began, and they let him march 7 minutes and 38 seconds down the field for the opening drive and kick the 24-yard field goal. This was not a case of they just wore down as the game began. First half, field goal, touchdown, kneel it out. That's the first half. You can't tell me that the defense was too tired, and that's what everyone's contributed to that. I'm not saying, look, Trevor Lawrence's turnovers are abysmal, terrible, but it's not like the defense was let down today. The defense did as much letting down as anybody today. Yeah. I mean, the whole team is just absolutely miserable. Hey, McManus, maybe make a field goal. Like, he's lost his ability to make. What is he now, 1 out of 5 in his last 6 attempts?
I think he's lost. Yeah, he missed like 5 of his last 6.
He missed like 1 of his first 20-something.
Yeah.
And he's missed 5 of his last 6.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 52 yards, not a gimme, but that's why we brought him here. Big leg.
It was a gimme for the Dolphins kicker today.
Jason Sanders kicked like 3 from 50-plus today. So, got to be better.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. Plenty of your calls ahead. 355-NFL-1, 355-6351 after a Jaguars loss in Tampa. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Facing cancer takes a lot of determination, strength, and support. And you'll get it all at Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center. Determination from world-renowned doctors, giving you specialized treatment with cutting-edge technology and research. Strength and support from a dedicated team, caring for you completely, during and after treatment. Don't face cancer with anything less than the team at Baptist MD Anderson. Appointments available at baptistmdanderson.com.
Jaguars fans, huddle up. Do you own a vehicle made in the last 10 years? If your car is outside of factory warranty or with no warranty coverage, get the best defense against expensive auto repairs with CarShield, the official auto protection partner of the Jaguars. With plans to fit every budget, CarShield helps you cover up to 5,000 parts and systems. Call 800-471-1223 now or go to carshield.com/Jaguars. That's 800-471-1223 or go to carshield.com/Jaguars. Go Jags!
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too. Former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the kinetical difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Daily Stash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daily Stash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Dailies is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in New Orleans and Pittsburgh. Watch them win in Houston and Nashville. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information.
Hey, Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic looking for a parking space? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Field is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 5 locations around Jacksonville. Passes start at $10 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit JTAFLA.com for full details. The JTA Game Day Express, where you're winning before the game even starts. Your Game Day Express is sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey from the Hyundai Studios on the Scoreboard Show. 355-NFL-1, the number 355-6351 here until about 8:30. The fifth quarter gang is ready after us tonight to take you deeper into Christmas Eve. What you got, Mike?
I've got Jonah in Murray Hill next up here on the Scoreboard Show. Hello, Jonah.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
All right, man. What's up?
Nothing. Just it's a bad time to not be playing carefree, Jaguar football. You look at about a month and a half ago, 8-3. Obviously, that, leading the AFC, that changed that night with, I think, the Chiefs getting the win.
That's right.
But the mistakes are concerning. I personally, I get Trevor trying to play and keep that streak going. But he's doing too much. I mean, we can't run the ball. We just can't run the ball if our life depended on it. Granted, offensive line struggled a lot this year. It's just it's sad to see. It's worrisome. You never thought at this point, a couple months ago that we'd say, oh, well, we have to hope for some division losses and to beat a 2-12 Carolina team to be able to control our destiny. It's looking a lot like a first round exit out of the playoffs, because right now, I mean, we can't buy a touchdown, we can't buy a run up the middle. And it's just it's sad to see, because we had all the momentum, and I get it. It's football. We're not the ones out there. Long season, but I personally would rather us end the season on a 5-game win streak than than have one in the middle and we drop 4 straight, and they've all just been terrible losses.
Right.
Some of them gut wrenchers, some of them, the Bucs are not the 49ers. I mean, Baker Mayfield did whatever he wanted. I was playing against Mike Evans in fantasy, and I looked down and he's got 2 touchdowns. I mean, it's like, it just sucks, and now next week becomes a must win, and then you got to see who can play firstly, see who's not hurt.
No doubt. Hey, thanks for the call. And, you talk about the playoffs. They better get their act together. They may not make the playoffs altogether.
Right.
The way it's going with a wild card right now.
And the season on a 6-game losing streak, the way they're playing right now. And, look, I still want the opportunity to see what they can do in the playoffs. I know people are like, they're not going to do anything. They're going to get blown out. Maybe they will. I still want that chance to see. I'd rather have to look back and say, well, you know what? Despite how awful it got, they righted the ship enough to take down their 2nd consecutive division title. I do think that means something in the big picture. It's not going to mean anything necessarily to this year's Lombardi Trophy participants, but again, like we just heard from Jonah, you got to see who's even available to play this week. Who knows?
Here's a look right now at the wild card situation, right? Cleveland at 10-5 is the 5 seed. Buffalo 9-6, the 6 seed. They both have better records than the Jaguars. Yeah. And then Indy, see what happens down the stretch with them the next week or so. Houston 8-7, also Indy. Pittsburgh 8-7. The Jaguars beat them head-to-head, so that's good. Cincinnati 8-7. The Bengals beat the Jags. And then Denver playing tonight. If they win, they would be 8-7, but their conference record is not as good as of right now. So that's where they stand. I mean, there's not any room much for error, because all of a sudden you could be sitting at home watching it on TV.
Quickly. There's no question about it. I mean, there are scenarios where they get in as a wild card. I'm not even worried about those scenarios. I'm not even worried about next Sunday.
How about just play better?
How about when you get on the practice field, do something that gives your coach a little confidence that you might bring that to the field, right? Because it hasn't been good.
Has not. I will take a break. More of your calls when we come back on the Scoreboard Show. Final score, 30-12 Bucks over the Jags, who are now 8-7. They've lost 4 in a row. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
If you're facing cancer, you want a dedicated team working for you. At Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center, we only focus on cancer. And we partner with one of the largest cancer centers in the world. So you'll have a specialized treatment plan created by our experienced and highly trained oncologists and surgeons, collaborating with one of the country's leading cancer centers. Best of all, we're in North Florida, with locations in downtown, Baptist South, and Clay. Appointments at BaptistMDAnderson.com.
Call calling all Jags fans. Is your little one ready to become a junior Jaguar? Now through January 2nd, MyGate rewards loyalty members who buy 2 20-ounce Coca-Cola participating products will be entered to win one of 10 behind-the-scenes experiences at Everbank Stadium for your child. Plus, you'll earn a 10-cent rollback at the pump, a win every time. Fuel your child's dreams, your car, and your passion for the Jags with Gate, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The game may be over, but the excitement is just beginning. The Jaguars played a great game, and J-Tech is proud to be part of a community that supports our team. But before we go, let's take a moment to talk about an important part of our community, tradesmen and women. J-Tech believes that everyone deserves the opportunity to learn valuable skills and build a successful career. They're proud to support the Jaguars and our community by offering high-quality trades education. Learn more at jtech.org.
Tackle your marketing needs with Kessler Creative. Providing direct mail services for more than a decade, Kessler has a wide range of services from small mailers to large banners and signs. Draft Kessler as your first pick to receive the best targeted mail list. Elevate your business and be on the winning team with Kessler Creative. Kessler Creative, results-driven marketing and proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey Florida, this is Luke Fortner, center for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We all know the rush of a good game, but there's no winning with aggressive driving on our roads. It's all about strategy and control. Embrace the space with the driver in front of you, go the speed limit, and use that blinker. These are the moves that make us all champions of the road. Target Zero is our game plan for safer roads and is a testament to our teamwork and dedication. Join me and let's get everyone home safely every single day.
Restaurant Orsay is a bustling French-American bistro focusing on classic French techniques with their chefs incorporating a traditional Southern influence. Celebrate life's special moments or just relax and enjoy their daily happy hour, weekend brunch, and nightcap on Friday and Saturdays from 10 until midnight. Restaurant Orsay, located in historic Avondale, 3630 Park Street. Visit www.restaurantorsay.com.
Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Yes, it does. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey from the Hyundai Studios in Jacksonville. 355 NFL won the number. Final few moments here, and then Santa Claus is coming to town.
So they say.
Bringing coal in our stocking.
I don't know, man. A lot of naughty behavior that I've seen.
Oh, really?
And well, in the last month of football, anyway. Yeah. From a football perspective.
Oh, football. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you were talking about. Which way you were going there. Okay.
No. 355 NFL 1. Justin on the west side is next up here on the Scoreboard Show. Hello, Justin.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Merry Christmas. I'm a huge fan of both of y'all.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So I'm just sitting here at home in all my Jaguars gear, feeling like an idiot again, and just kind of wondering what you guys think about Trevor. Is he just another talented arm, but just, I mean, no other way to say it, just stupid? Is he dumb, do you think? Or what's the big deal with Trevor, and when, as fans, should we start to panic? Like, I mean, just recently, not too long ago, we signed Blake Bortles, and that ended up being a huge mistake. I just don't want to, 20 years from now, be talking with my friends thinking, oh, remember whenever we signed Trevor and we all thought he was going to be so great? Oh, how stupid we were, like, just going over all our dumb signings we've had.
Well, I mean, Trevor was always, just to stop you real quick, Trevor's always the number one pick. He was going to be the number one pick that year. The Jaguars had the number one pick.
No matter who.
There was he's the pick. And he's not dumb. He's a smart guy. And I think he's got football IQ about him. He's banged up. He's playing through a lot of stuff right now. There's not a lot of help around him at the moment as well. And all that's adding up.
I think he's made some questionable, football IQ stuff. Again, I'm not saying he's dumb.
Right. I mean, he's making bad mistakes at times, but I don't think he's a dumb quarterback. You know what I mean?
Look,
some mistakes are happening, though. There's no doubt about that.
Nobody's going to hear. Trevor, obviously playing with a knee, an ankle, a concussion, playing through all this stuff. I'm seeing it on social media. We've been hearing it all week. Trevor's putting his streak of never missing a game ahead of the team. First of all,
I think he cares.
Once you get in the game, all right, you start the first snap, the streak is established. The guy is out there diving headfirst for a first down in a game that has got no chance for the Jags to win. I think it's, to me, an admirable trait that he tries to give you everything he can, that he puts himself out there no matter what. If he can walk out on the field, he's going to play. And does that mean we have to accept any level of what he performs? No. But if you think there's not a thought in this organization, like, hey, maybe we need to get a look at C.J. Beathard, or maybe we need to do none of that kind of stuff. He has to be better. He's also 24 years old. Will Levis is older than Trevor Lawrence.
Think about that.
Okay?
Right? Yep.
Older than Trevor Lawrence coming into the league this year. He is still a very young guy. I'm not excusing. So you can't fumble when nobody hits you. You can't throw it in the field of play when you have no timeouts with 10 seconds left. Those are dumb decisions. Do I think Trevor's dumb? No. But he has done some dumb football things. There's no question about it. He's been sloppy with the ball.
Yes.
And that has got to change. There's no question about it. And he's got a ton of if you're going to put Trevor Lawrence compared to Blake Bortles, I don't even think there's it's not even a conversation. And I'm seeing people out there on social media, when you finally realize that Blake is better than Trevor. And people are actually liking that. And I get it. You're not happy. You're in the moment. But if you think that Trevor Lawrence is even in the same conversation as Blake Bortles, I don't think we watch football the same way. So, is it frustrating? Yeah, because I thought he'd build on what he did last year, JP. It really did. I think, we'd all hoped he'd pick right up where he left off, and it didn't work out that way. Well. And, he's got to be better. There's no question about it. He does have to be better. But this organization, if you think they're even, for a second entertaining anything the likes of we need to be looking elsewhere, you're going to be sorely disappointed.
They better figure out some offensive line issues in the future if they're going to keep him from being on the injury report 4 times.
No question
There's
about it.
No doubt about that.
Absolutely. You're going to need to figure out how to run the ball so teams can't just say, when you're running back, the last few weeks, Travis Etienne's had a handful of second-half carries, and they went for a total of negative yardage. And today, he had 6 carries. Was it 6 for 12 was the final tally?
Yeah, sounds right.
So then he didn't have a carry in the second half, did he?
I don't remember.
I think he had 6 for 12 at halftime, and Ridley had the negative 12, and we were talking about at the half that they were at 0. So you're totally abandoning the running game. And I get it.
No, Etienne had 5 for 9 in the first half.
Oh, was it so he had 1 for 3.
1 for 3.
Which is, terrible. In effect, the same thing. You've abandoned the run.
Yes.
He's run for like a cumulative 0 or negative 1, I think, in the second half, the last 3 games combined. So, I get it. You get down big, you have to abandon the run, but they can't even keep them honest in the first half, in the first quarter of games.
That's the real problem.
And, that's a team-wide problem. That's an offensive line problem. I don't think it's Etienne. I still think Etienne's
fine.
The guy who
was
averaged over 5 yards a carry last
against
year.
the Bills. He can play. It's not like he can't play.
You got to give him some holes, and they're and running backs need a chance to get in a rhythm. But I get it. If you hand it to him 5 times and he gets 9 yards, at a certain point you go, well, we're just handing it to him now cosmetically to even out the numbers of what we're doing. They can't run it. They can't block up front. The protection is shaky. The receiving core is missing 2 of the top 3 weapons in it. Trevor himself is playing some sloppy football. Missed some throws today, but I think people feel like he's the only issue with this team. When you start listing off all the issues they have, to me, he's still far down the line. The turnovers are a problem. There's no question about it. But today, I have in my mind, I had no qualms with them running him out there. As long as he's cleared medically, I think a less than 100% Trevor Lawrence does give them a better chance to win than C.J. Beathard does. And I get it. C.J. Beathard threw a prettier touchdown to Calvin Ridley. Who cares? We're talking about garbage time.
Yeah, give me a break.
At this point in time.
That was ridiculous. No offense. That was ridiculous.
I mean, sometimes you make a tight window throw and the guy gets blown up when he catches the ball.
Yeah.
And that happens. But I don't know. I'm certainly not going to tell you when. It's up to you if you want to hit the panic button. I'm not telling you to panic. I mean, it is what it is. They are what they are. We can see it. We're not trying to sit here and go, oh, don't worry, they'll get in the playoffs and they'll go on a run. Nobody's saying that.
They may not get in the playoffs.
They may not get in the playoffs, but I still want them to get there.
I do too.
I question whether they'll beat Carolina. And before I tell you what I think, I got to see who's going to be available for this game. Because right now, it's not going to take much for me to think that they're not going to win that football game where they haven't played well at home all season long. So, there you go. You want to get the last one here?
Let's do one more.
Let's get Chris in Orange Park. Last word on the phone lines. Chris, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, please.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to say Merry Christmas, guys, and Merry Christmas to the Jags fans. It's real tough, guys. It seems like the Jaguars definitely delivered cold to the fans tonight. I know there's some struggles going on. A lot of injuries are starting to pile up back-to-back for multiple players. Cisco, Zay Jones, Trevor Lawrence, the ankle, the concussion, now the shoulder issue. I just really feel like the Jaguars started kind of rough, and they got on a real good win streak. And then now here, as we approach the playoffs, we're starting to sizzle out a little bit, and it's kind of frustrating, being a lifelong Jaguar fan. You've lived for these moments to finally get here and to watch it kind of dwindle away. It kind of hurts. I'm just hoping that, whether we get to the playoffs or not, I don't know that we will compete with anybody, quite frankly. I mean, it's been, tonight, for a perfect example, I've seen many times tonight where Trevor's dropped back and thrown the ball, and the ball went the complete opposite direction that the receiver did. Just a lot of miscues, a lot of things that just doesn't seem right with the Jaguars. But, hey, I'm a ride or die till the end, so go Jaguars. I hope you get there. I hope you get to the big game. Merry Christmas, you guys, and y'all have a great night.
Thanks for the call. Likewise. Same to you. And, yeah, something I noticed at halftime, we talked about it, and right before half, there was that 3rd and 2, I believe it was, and it looked like Trevor was going to quickly release it to the left. He had to hold it and got sacked. And then they showed the replay of him kind of pointing to his eyes again and talking to somebody down the field. Same idea we had last week. So
same idea from 2 weeks ago as well with Parker Washington.
So there's some of that, and that's a problem. It's continued.
Again, it's impossible to know what degree is it Trevor, what degree is it the receivers, what degree is it sometimes
it's all of them.
It's all right.
They're
it's
all guilty.
Bad. And look, Chris, I totally agree. I can't imagine them beating a playoff team right now. Heck, hard to imagine them beating anybody right now, but I still want the chance.
Get in. Just get in.
I mean, look, again, the Raiders scored 0 against Minnesota, lost 3-0, and 4 days later put 63 up on the Chargers, who then a week later were winning until the final seconds against the Bills, who right now people think is one of the most dangerous teams. I mean, it's just
that's what it is.
That's the NFL. And, again, they lost so close to Cleveland, right? Cleveland looks like a juggernaut right now. If you had won any of these last 4, you'd feel different, but you haven't, and you feel the way you feel, and it's totally understandable. This is a team that had won 7 out of 8 before this 4-game losing streak.
All right, we'll take a timeout. Final break after, in just a few moments, the 5th quarter is straight ahead. If you didn't get in here, Hacker and the fellas are standing by on this Christmas Eve after a Jags loss to the Bucs 30-12. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Brooks Rehabilitation has more than 50 years of experience serving the North Florida community with cutting-edge rehabilitation care, ranging from joint replacements, sports injuries, and balance issues, to traumatic brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, and strokes. Their highly trained clinical teams span across their system of care to include inpatient, outpatient, skilled nursing, assisted living and memory care, home health, and adaptive community programs. Learn more at brooksrehab.org. Brooks is proud to be the rehabilitation provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
As the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Publix is helping fans gear up for game day with the limited-time Jaguars sub. Piled high with hot deli chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, cheddar cheese, coleslaw, and barbecue mayonnaise on a white sub roll. The Jaguars sub is an easy, delicious meal for any fan. Make it an ultimate game day by ordering the Jaguars sub online for in-store pickup. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading organizations across the country to deliver workforce solutions. As a proud sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars, CSI crafts personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has over 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your workforce solutions reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at jaguars.com/shadows. One winner a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase to enter or win, must be 18 or older and a legal resident of Florida or Georgia. Promotion period 9/5/23 through 12/15/23. For official rules and complete details, visit jaguars.com/shadows. Sponsored by Jacksonville Jaguars, LLC.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back, Scoreboard Show. Final moments on this Christmas Eve after a 30-12 loss for the Jaguars to the Buccaneers down in Tampa. The Jags have now lost 4 straight. They are 8-7. They will welcome the Carolina Panthers on New Year's Eve here at the bank. A 1 o'clock kickoff. That'll do it for our program tonight. Thanks to Linda Fortunato, Tony Smith, our entire crew all season, of course. But Mike, Merry Christmas to you and the family, and be safe heading home.
Yeah. Hopefully it won't take me 3 hours like it did on Thursday.
Let's hope not.
Yes.
You might see some reindeer
and
on
Merry
the way.
Christmas to the Jaguar fans out there as well. And, you'll wake up in first place.
Yeah.
Shut up, Dempsey.
That's enough out of you for tonight. That's Mike Dempsey. I'm JP Shadrick. 5th quarter is next. He'll take you until the reindeer come by. This has been the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.